Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to start talking about a 3-level two-handed club program. This program is meant for everybody. It focuses on 2 major movement patterns. The two-handed mill or casting pattern. This is the throwing pattern that everybody in the world does. This is what separates humans from everything else on the planet, and we are going to integrate that with a basic squat pattern. Because in the modern world, we want everybody to stand up and we want them to restore normal human function, which means casting patterns. We are going to be doing inside movements and outside movements because we are going to focus on making sure that we rotate effectively. Our feet are not going to move for this program. There are other programs which we will do which will move your feet. This program is meant, in this program, we don't move our feet because we want to jack up the weight. This program is meant to be repeated several times. Do level 1, do level 2, do level 3 with a weight 4 times each level, then go up in weight and repeat the program. Start generally maybe with a 10 or 15 pound club. This program kind of ends when you get above a 50 pound club, but this program is meant to be run up to a 70 pound club. So you can get a lot out of this. The point is it is simple, effective, and time controlled. The workouts are 20 minutes long. That's it. Round 1, 5 minutes. Round 2, 5 minutes. Round 3, 5 minutes. Round 4, 5 minutes. Round 1, left. Round 2, right. Round 3, left. Round 4, right. There is a built-in neurological learning technique shoved inside this program. We are trying to trick you into becoming more efficient and stronger with the minimum amount of equipment in the minimum amount of time with the most useful movement patterns that we can think of to shove into this program. This program is designed around the use of the heavy club. The heavy club is different from a light club, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The heavy club is going to start in the 10-pound range, but if you have injuries, you could start lower than that. It builds up to about the 50-pound range, but you can push it up to 70 pounds. Pushing it to 70 pounds is kind of superhuman, and almost nobody makes it there, but you can probably make it there. We are using an 8X adjustable club in this program because it is the minimum amount of money used for the maximum amount of weights that you can get. Clubs come in various weights, kind of like kettlebells do. Kettlebells come in 16K, 24K, 32K. Dumbbells come in the same thing. 35 pounds, 40 pounds, 45 pounds, 50 pounds. You progress through the program by going up in weight. Whatever clubs you have, you can use for this program. You could even use a mace if you're smart about it. We start with a light club and we build up. The point of a club is that it's a lever. The lever is the key point here. It's a different type of lever than, say, a kettlebell. It's a better lever than a dumbbell. A dumbbell is symmetrical. The handle is directly in the center of the weight. So that works in a very linear line for how you use it. The problem with dumbbells is they don't exist in the real world. All tools that humans use until very recent in history have been levers. A hammer is a lever. A sword is a lever. A spear is a lever. A shovel is a lever. A pickaxe is a lever. Levers are what separate us from everything else on the planet and our ability to use them. We use a thumb, we control levers, and our shoulder allows us to use the lever to project more force than our body otherwise could. We have a very hard time hammering in nails with our hand, but we have a very easy time doing it with a hammer. A club allows us to maximize our efficiency in the use of levers, which is something we have lost a lot of in the modern world. Most people don't work with levers for a living anymore, whereas 100 years ago, 90% of the population did. The club allows us to use a light weight to get the maximum amount of athletic benefit. When a club is vertical, it weighs exactly what it weighs. This one weighs, say, 27.5 pounds right now. As it leaves center, it becomes increasingly heavy because that's the way the force works on a lever. Look up all the physics on levers or watch my YouTube videos and we talk about it a lot more. As we're in balanced position, a club weighs exactly what it weighs. when we are in balanced position, a club weighs exactly what a club weighs. As we move through any of our basic ranges of movement, the club changes weight dramatically, and our body is learning to respond to those changes. The faster a club moves, the more force it produces on the body. If you do more reps in the same amount of time, then it takes more muscular effort for you to control that load. That is what humans do. That's why we are using clubs. This program is designed to maximize our ability to cast with two hands. We are doing the two-handed versions of it in this program. There are single-hand versions of all of these things, but we are doing that because putting two hands on the club forces us to rotate all the way. When we rotate all the way, left and right, our body balances out. If the left side of our spine rotates the same amount as the right side of our spine, then we essentially reduce our injury potential. The way injuries work is one side of the body is stronger than the other. Over time, that creates a deficit somewhere in the body, and eventually something will break, either from an overuse injury or from it not being strong enough. We are trying to make this the most healthy program by making sure we are always balancing all of these movements on each side of our body. No strong side. Equal amounts of coordinated skill in all directions at all times. Start with the club light, make it heavy. As it gets heavy, you will have to have more contraction, more control, and more benefit. This is a simple program. There are 3 levels to this program. Level 1 uses all simple movements. Level 2 is some simple movements and some combination movements, and level 3 is all combination movements. We start simple and we develop complex over time. You run this program by doing level 1 with one weight, level 2 with the same weight, level 3 with the same weight, and you run that process over again. We do not do all of level 1 in a row. We bounce back and forth between level 1, level 2, and level 3. This is a trick that you learn in engineering where you do something more complicated to make the easy thing seem easy. This is a neurological trick that's meant to be repeated over and over and over again. It is there to trick you into becoming more efficient by adding and subtracting complexity over time. You should do each level with each weight you have at least 4 times. If you have big jumps in weights, then you need to do each level with each weight more. So let's say a 15-pound club, a 20-pound club, and a 25-pound club. With a 15-pound club, you would do each level 4 to 6 times. If you have intermediate weights like a 17.5, then you would do each level 4 times. The more weights you run this program with, the better it will get. I highly encourage you not to start with heavy weights. If you start with heavy weights and you're flexing your elbows instead of straightening your arms all the way out and pulling from your lats, you will trash your elbows. That is not the goal. The goal is to start with a light enough weight that you can gain the experience of doing the movements correctly and then walk it up a little bit of weight at a time. The smaller the jumps in weight, the better the outcome of the program. The more times you repeat the program with more weights, the more efficient you will become. The goal is to make you extremely good at two-handed casting patterns, both inside and outside, and side rotational hip snaps. We do that because it's very hard to do those movements with any other type of equipment. You don't cover it in slam balls. You definitely don't cover it in barbells. You can do it with kettlebells, but these movements are optimized for the club. And the club is the most basic tool that humans have used for, millennia. Hammers, shield, hammers, picks, axes, all of those things are basic levers, and a club is a lever. We are optimizing this program to work with a club. Start simple, build complex, repeat the level over again. Never do the same level with the same weight 2 days in a row. Run the program probably 3 days a week, twice a week if you're doing something else really athletic and hard, so you have more time to recover. The first exercise we are going to do is our two-handed inside circle. All of these circles are fundamental. What they are tricking us into doing is standing all the way up, sitting in our rear leg, and rotating across. Our goal is to rotate 180 degrees without our feet moving. If your feet are moving, you're not doing it right yet. If your feet are moving, either your ankles, your hips, or your knees are doing something weird. There are programs that do that. This is not one of them. We want you to focus on this. Two hands are going to start in our order position, 90 degrees with the top arm, the top hand on the club. We are going to rotate with our hand towards our center line. Rotate, push until two arms lock out. Tip your hands, swing across 180 degrees, shift your weight into your back leg, pull your elbows into your side, establish balance, come back to the center. Push, swing, pull, catch. Pick your club up. Our order position is at 90 degrees with the top hand, not the bottom hand. The bottom hand is there for support. When we are, point your feet straight ahead. Rotate, sit in the back leg. Push your arms out. Tip, swing, pull, and catch. Come back to the center, stand all the way up. Rotate into the rear leg. Push, swing, pull, catch. Pause. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch. Now let's do 5 reps at speed so you can see how it really looks. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch, establish balance. Push, swing, pull, catch, establish balance. Push, swing, pull, catch, establish balance. We're going to demonstrate it now with the other side. Top hand goes towards our center line. When we change our top hand, we are going to rotate the other way. Be aware your top hand defines all of these movements. Pick your club up. Top hand moves towards our center line. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch. When you set it down with good technique. If you drop it on your toe, it's your own fault. The second exercise in this program is an outside movement. An inside movement moves towards our center line. A circle moves in a circle. A pendulum is essentially an outside clean. We are going to rotate. Our top hand defines the movement, and it's going to move away from our center line, outside. We're going to push, tip, swing, load the same side hip, use this hip to snap the weight up, catch, sit in your back leg. The back leg initiates the movement. Push, load down, same side leg, swing up, and catch. We're leaving our center line perfectly straight up and down, rotating, starting from the leg, loading at the bottom, coming back up, and doing it over and over and over again. This is meant to help us learn to shift our weight from side to side. This is essentially a side-loaded power clean. Pick your weight up with good technique. Don't hit yourself in the teeth. Rotate. Top hand defined going outside. Start from the rear leg. Push, swing, pull, load, and catch. Return to center each time for now. Rotate, push, swing, pull, and catch. Return to center. Rotate, push, swing, pull, and catch. Return to center. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Return to center. Set the club down with good technique. The important thing that we're trying to achieve on this is 2 arms are locked out. If your arms are not locked out or one of them is bent, you're going to end up hurting yourself eventually as the weight goes up. If your arms are not locked out, then eventually you will hurt yourself. Important part, at the top, lock out. At the bottom, both arms are locked out. If one arm is bent, this lat is not on. It's fine with a lightweight. You're gonna tear yourself up with a heavyweight. All of your techniques should transfer from a lightweight to a heavyweight. It should be seamless. It doesn't change. Focus on those straight arms at the bottom. Let's demonstrate it with the other side. Defined by our top hand, move away from our center line. Top hand, rotate. Start from the rear leg. The stand up starts the movement. Load the same side leg at the bottom of the movement. Push, tip, swing, load, and catch. Return to center. Rotate. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Return to center. Push, swing, pull, and catch. 90 degrees is important. You can get away with not 90 degrees with a light weight. As the weight gets heavier, this becomes more important. Rotate to the center. Set the club down with good technique. This is our third exercise of level 1. This is our two-handed pullover, our most basic cast. People will call this exercise a lot of different things. I call it the two-hand pullover because it's really easy to remember. We are going to take two hands. We are going to go straight back past. Top hand goes past the same side ear. We're going to brush the head, and then we are going to pull our arms all the way down. Notice, every move ends in the same spot. Elbow on the body. If our elbow is kicked out, then our wrist is not in alignment, our elbow is not in alignment, and our shoulder is not in alignment, and it will make our life very difficult. As you do this, practice pulling the elbow into the center line as hard as you can. Crush your elbow into your body, squeeze your lat. This is a lat exercise and an abdominal exercise. Let's demonstrate it, talk about it, and then demonstrate it again. Pick the club up any way you need to without knocking your teeth out. I'm going to rotate to the side so you can see more clearly. Our arm is at this 90-degree angle. The top hand defines the movement. We are going to squeeze our glutes to keep our body stable. Put the club behind our head and pull all the way over. The movement is done when the arm is at that 90-degree angle. Push back, pull forward. Push back, pull forward. Push back, pull forward. Push back, pull forward. The important cues on this are squeeze your glutes, kind of the entire time. What we are trying to do is resist extension. As the club goes back, it's going to try to lift our rib cage up. We are going to resist the rib cage lift by contracting your abdominal muscles. The arms go back, the rib cage doesn't move. Distance between pelvis and rib cage is the same. When we do that pullover, the weight is behind us. The way we protect our lower back is by squeezing your glutes as hard as possible. If your glutes are tight, you remove the stress away from your lower back and share the load. It should be glutes and lats, and the abs should be on to resist extension. Let's demonstrate it with the other side. Top arm defines the movement, 90 degrees. Rotate straight back, pull it straight forward. The rep ends when your arm is at 90 degrees. Straight back, straight forward. Straight back, straight forward. When I am at the back part of the movement, if my elbow is kicked out, I need to pull it in to pull over. The end point of the back of the movement is when your thumb is touching your shirt. Try to lift the elbow up as high as you can. Thumb to shirt. If you do this movement and your hands are really high, you're going to notice it sucks. Try to stand all the way up. Don't move your head. You will have the urge to try to duck underneath the weight. Keep your chin level, eyes at a point in the distance. Move the club around your head, not your head around the club. The fourth exercise in level 1 is a balance squat. We use the word balance because our goal is to keep the club in balance and maintain the angle of our arms in order to do so. We would like to go down as low as possible with our feet generally pointed straight ahead and our spine vertical. If we deviate from that, it's going to get a little bit rough. The goal is to start with a lightweight and build up to a heavyweight. Most people's squat technique is not good in the beginning, and it will get better over time by repeating the movement with load. People who do these exercises without load tend to never get good at them. The load is here to help us improve our range of motion and give us something for our posture to balance against. We're going to pick the club up with good technique. I'm going to rotate to the side for this first movement. Top hand, elbow on body. As we go down, our elbow is going to leave our body. Elbows are going to track inside the knees, and we are going to lean back away from the weight as far as we can. Our arms are still generally parallel to the ground. We don't want our hands up high. That is going to be annoying, and it will not work with heavy weights. Lower those arms down. Elbows inside knees, stand all the way up. At the top, squeeze your glutes. That's the end of the movement. Go down as low as you can. Sit back in your heels as far as you can. Stand all the way up. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Down, up. Down, up. Down, and up. Squatting is a fundamental human movement. You should be able to squat much lower than me. I've had 3 major knee surgeries on one leg. Somebody without knee surgeries should be able to sit the back of their hamstring all the way down on their heel. Eventually, the goal is to be able to sit all the way down and stand all the way up without deviating. Let's demonstrate it on the other side. Pick up the club with good technique. Top arm, 90 degrees on each side. Point your feet generally straight ahead. Get down as low as you can. Sit back, pull your shoulder blades back. Spine nice and tall. Stand up. Pull the kneecap up at the top. Squeeze the glutes. Flex the abs. Get down low. Stand all the way up. Get down low. Stand all the way up. Set the club down with good technique. Focus on your squat dynamics. The better your squat, the better your knees, the better your hips, the better your back. Strong core is drastically improved by good squat technique. This is an intermediate weight squat, so we will point our feet straight ahead. Different from a barbell squat with super heavy weights where you would turn out. Exercise number 5 is two-handed shield cast. This is the most human movement in all of human history. If you do nothing else in this program, this is the most important movement. This movement literally defines the evolution of humans. The use of all tools is based on this movement pattern, so all athletics is based on this movement pattern. This is done with every implement, kettlebells, hydrocore, Bulgarian bag, clubs, and maces. Everything has a version of this exercise because it is fundamental. We are going to pick up our club with good technique. Top hand goes past the opposite ear. If your top hand goes past the same ear, you will notice that it will mess up your shoulders. This is the easy one. Top hand goes around the head and comes back down. This is in the same family as the two-handed pullover, but we took the line and we made it the circle. Top hand past opposite ear, stand all the way up. Don't move the focus of your eyes. Your eyes should be pointing straight ahead. If you find your chin moving, you need to stand all the way up. Move the club around your head, not your head around the club. Swing and catch. Swing and catch. Swing and catch. The important things that we are trying to achieve here is that top hand goes past opposite ear. You will recognize this movement from every martial art on the planet and from every tool use on the planet. Swinging hammers is the same, swinging sledgehammers is the same, splitting wood is the same fundamental movement. What we want is that top hand, the thumb to brush the shirt as it goes past. If our thumb is up high, we need to get it all the way down. There is a tricep extension and a lat pullover in this movement. We are going to push the weight up to start, go around the head, thumb brushes, tricep extension, pull the arm all the way down. What we are looking for is the club to swing from corner to corner. I'm going to demonstrate just the swinging portion in the back. When the club goes behind the head, we should be rotating our body to achieve the swing. If we are missing any portion of the swing, we are not maximizing the movement and we will not be able to go up in weight. I will demonstrate this movement facing away from the camera so you can see the thumb touch the shirt. Rotate, catch. Rotate, catch. Rotate, and catch. When we go to the other side, the movement changes directions. Make sure you're changing directions. People will go one way with their dominant hand, and when they change their high hand, they will try to go the same direction. Remember, say it aloud if you have to. Top hand goes past opposite ear. Top hand, opposite ear. Swing and catch. The movement ends when your arm is at that 90-degree angle. Push, swing, pull, catch. Push, swing, pull, catch. Push, swing, pull, catch. Achieve that balanced position. If your hands are up high, you will notice it will not work as you go up in weight.